Hi everyone, welcome back to Intuitive Shutter. Today we're reviewing a camera that we shot in our previous video. It's the Voigtländer VSL1. So let's get right in. Voigtländer VSL1. So this is a camera that was produced by Rolly after they took over Voigtländer from Zeiss in the 70s and 80s. This is a very simple, straightforward SLR, so single lens reflex. So this one is the TM version, which means thread mount. It takes M42 lenses. This camera also comes in bayonet mounts, but I like the M42 better just because there's such a variety of lenses and they're actually quite affordable for amazing glass. So let's get into the pros and cons for this camera. So I'll start with the pros. This camera is extremely reliable. I've taken it with me in a lot of places, never missed a shot with it. It's really well built and I mean, works great. The other great point for this camera, as I said it earlier, it takes M42 lenses, and so with that you have access to lenses such as the Super Takumar lenses, and I think the biggest pro for this camera is quite intangible. It's the overall feel of shooting with it. I mean, it sits in your hand very nicely, and I love taking pictures with this camera. Every time I compose an image with it, I love it. It's just such a great camera. And I think it has to do as well with the shutter sound. It has such a nice shutter sound. It's just amazing. Another small pro of this camera is the speed. It actually goes up to 1/1000th of a second, so this is quite useful if you want to shoot wide open. It's gonna help you a lot. Another one of the small pros for this camera is the speed. So it actually goes up to 1/1000th of a second. So if you shoot a lot of wide open images, it's gonna help you a lot. So now to the cons for this camera. There are two major cons for this one. The first one, and I think it's obvious when you look at it, it's really heavy. So I took it with me on trips, and I mean, it's quite heavy. When you're carrying it around all day, at the end of the day you're gonna feel it. So that's kind of the biggest con. Unfortunately, it's really heavy. And for the second con, I would say, is the price, because it's not in the cheapest cameras you can get. Depending on the model that you take, if you're taking one that is made in Singapore or one that is made in Germany, it could range and vary from $200 Canadian up to $800 and more. So depending also if you're taking the bayonet mount or the thread mount, which is a variance that can change the price as well. So definitely to consider the fact that it's a little more expensive. Let's have a quick walkthrough of this camera. So here is where you choose your speed. So it goes up to 1/1000th of a second. Here's how you crank the camera. Really have to go all the way up there. Here's the shutter. So here is where you choose your ISO. You have to put the little arrow up and then you can rotate the little disc to choose your ISO. So here is where the light meter shows, but mine is not working here. There's a timer. This little button here allows you to see how the aperture is gonna affect your frame. Here's the compartment for the battery. And here's the button that you press whenever you have to roll your film back up, or if you want to do a double exposure. Here's the place where the frames are going to show, so how many frames you already took from this roll. To change lenses, as I said, this one is the thread mount, so you really have to just screw the lens in if you want to change lenses. Here's how you load your film. So you just open it up like this, and then you load your film here. And that's pretty much it. So now we'll show you some examples of pictures taken with this camera. Hope you enjoy it. So this concludes the video. Thanks a lot for watching. I really want to emphasize again, we're so happy to see all of your comments, everybody interacting with our videos. It's amazing, and we're glad that we can help you see some samples of some cameras that you might purchase or things like that. So if you enjoyed it, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. We're going to be coming up with more videos fairly soon, but thanks again for watching. It means a lot to us.